The Nintendo Switch is a great handheld console, and Nintendo is really revolutionizing the entire video game industry with this console right here that has been out for a little bit over a year now. And as huge of a Nintendo fan that I am, and as much as I love this console, it doesn't go without its serious issues. Hey guys, how's it going? My name's Elijah, and today we need to have a talk about the issues that the Nintendo Switch has. Like I said, I'm a huge Nintendo fan, and I only want the best for Nintendo, and I also want the people who are buying Nintendo Switches to have the best experience possible. It would be completely dumb to turn a blind eye to some of the things that are wrong with the Nintendo Switch. And maybe by having these discussions, Nintendo will finally make action and give consumers what they not only want, but also deserve. We spent a lot of money on this. The first thing that's wrong with the Nintendo Switch is the obvious. There isn't YouTube or Netflix. It's 2018. Where is it? When they originally announced back in 2016 that the Nintendo Switch was not going to have Netflix, I remember making a video on it, and I was really okay with it. I didn't think that it was a crucial application to have on day one, but I was under the assumption we'd have it by Christmas. It's been a whole year. Where is it? Just a really weird thing for it not to have, especially because it has Hulu. So unless they cut some back, and Hulu is paying the Nintendo Switch a ton of money, which is shady in its own, why don't we have Netflix yet? Netflix is on mobile phones. Why isn't it on the Nintendo Switch? It's such an obvious thing. YouTube is another huge one. They're like two of the biggest entertainment apps. And if you want people to use the Nintendo Switch more, give them extra reasons to use them outside of just playing games. Nintendo makes amazing games. There's no denying that. Super Mario Odyssey, great game. Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, fantastic masterpiece. We had games like Splatoon 2, but what's going on with the online system? We have very little information unless as of the day you're watching this, Nintendo announces a brand new network, because I make these videos a day in advance. The Nintendo network is very, very old-fashioned. Why do we have friend codes in 2018? And if you played Splatoon 2, you know that the whole voice communication system was awful. I don't understand the integration with a cell phone. They really should just do something simple, like team up with Discord and just let you use Discord from the Switch, considering Discord has a great mobile interface already, and they could easily make something great for the Nintendo Switch. It's just so weird that Nintendo has such a strong and active community, and by not having a good social aspect, they're literally throttling the community from what it could be when everyone could be active and interacting with each other and praising Nintendo and really making lifelong friendships on the console. Instead, they're not, because there's no way to talk to people on the console. It's kind of like the same reason I jumped to Xbox back in 2008 from my Wii. I really enjoyed playing all of the games I had on the Wii, but there was this huge social side of things in gaming. You talk to people that actually become lifelong friends, and you get to share your love for video games together, and that's really cool. But Nintendo Switch is still behind on that. I don't get it. It's the same exact. They're still using friend codes. They've been using friend codes for over 10 years, a little bit longer than that even. Why? On top of that, I know I want just to be able to have a couple of friends easily and get to talk to them, but there's also no web browser, which is a common thing on all consoles. It's a common thing on cell phones and all mobile devices. I don't know why we don't have it. It is integrated in the back end of it, but we don't have just a public, simple to use web browser, which is weird because the Nintendo Switch has a really responsive touchscreen, which means it'd be really easy to browse the web. But even back on my DSi, I was able to browse the web, so I don't know why that hasn't come yet. This one's a big one. Where is Virtual Console? The Nintendo Wii U had Virtual Console, but we don't have it on Nintendo Switch. I really don't understand what their thinking is, unless the plan is to launch it early next year, right after Super Smash Bros. Seems so backwards to restrict things that Nintendo fans and Nintendo consumers are used to having access to. Why to sell out on the SNES Classic? They still sold well despite the Wii U already being a thing. People buy them for collectibles, not necessarily for the actual gameplay. Plus, you'd make way more money selling the games individually than as a packaged deal. The worst part about the virtual console situation is, besides it's something that I really want to be able to play SNES games and Nintendo 64 games and GameCube games on Nintendo Switch. It has the power to do that. Even Wii games could be running on here. But instead of them taking time and energy into developing the virtual console, they decide to restrict people in the community who are modding their Nintendo Switches and providing awesome content and customization over there that should already be on the Switch anyways. And they take action against fan developers who are working on some really detailed fan games that people can enjoy. And the worst thing is, it would be one thing if they took down a game so that you could buy it on their store officially. But when they don't make any way for us to play the game, period, that's really unfair. And it's really unfair that a lot of these ROM websites are getting legal action taken against them when Nintendo's not even giving us a legal way to play their games. And that's pretty dumb. I don't think that they're preserving anything when they're not giving us a way to do it, a correct way to play the games. If I went on eBay now and bought a Super Nintendo to play the games I wanted to play on, Nintendo wouldn't be making any money off of that anyways. Why take the legal action? Just set up Virtual Console. That's my roundabout way of saying that. And this one, I'm not gonna fault Nintendo as much because they are making steps in the right direction, but I definitely thought Nintendo would be way ahead of where they are 1.5 years into its life cycle with third-party support. Yes, the Nintendo Wii U had terrible third-party support, but the Nintendo Switch is starting to pick up and it's getting the support and it has a lot of sales, but they still haven't turned those sales into support. They still haven't made the connections and deals with other huge developers to get major games on their console, and that was the huge fault of the Wii U. And I don't think the Nintendo Switch in any way is gonna fail like the Wii U did. It's already passed it up in sales and it's already a great console, but we don't have the third-party support we want. We're not where we need to be yet, and I think a lot of people are kind of putting their blinders on and ignoring the fact that we still don't have the games that we used to have on the Wii days. Remember, the Wii had everything. It had Madden, it had Call of Duty. But Nintendo Switch lost a lot of these huge relationships with EA and Activision, and despite the games they make and the criticisms they get, they're still huge games that bring people onto the console and keep people on the console. And until they're able to get those games onto the console, I don't think a lot of people are gonna main the Nintendo Switch. If Call of Duty Black Ops 4 was coming out on the Switch, I would buy it on the Switch, but it's not. So I'm gonna be buying it on the PC or on my Xbox. And it makes more sense for me to do that and play on those consoles more often because I have more games on them. We can't just look at it through rose-colored glasses because we love Nintendo. Kind of be brutally honest here because we want the best for Nintendo. Leave a comment down below with what you think the biggest flaw of the Nintendo Switch is, and also leave a comment with what you think Nintendo Switch is doing right. There's amazing games on there. Nintendo has always made great games. They have a great system that's handheld, which is amazing, and the games that are out are good. It's just, it's not at its full potential. It could be such a better console, and that's what I'm frustrated with. Alright guys, that's it for today. If you like this video, hit the like button, subscribe, turn notifications on, don't forget! Because we upload here on Rocket Sloth still, and we'll see you all later with a new video. Bye guys.